Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am a brother in Islam, Mustafa Lidon Olamleko. I welcome you all to Al-Kanz Islamic YouTube channel where we discuss issues that hover around Islam and also learn about our religion. Brothers and sisters in faith, I'm using this medium to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and do not forget to drop your comment at the comment section. Jazakumullahu khairan. Inshallah, today we want to look at another aspect of our religion, which is rifqu fil ibadah, that is leniency in worship. And with respect to this, we shall be making reference to Abdullahi ibn Amru. We discuss briefly about his life history and also discuss the hadith that was related by Abdullahi ibn Amr himself when the Prophet ﷺ cautioned him about his mode of ibadah. On that note, we shall be looking at the other sayings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that border on how to maintain moderation in our ibadat. We also look at the benefits of these particular ahadiths that we want to cite. I pray to Almighty Allah to grant me and you the understanding of this discussion, and I pray to Almighty Allah to count it as part of our good deeds. Inshallah, like I said, today we want to look at another topic, which is rifqu fil ibadah, leniency in worship. And on this note, we want to quickly make reference to the life history of Abdullahi ibn Amr. You see, Abdullahi ibn Amr, may Allah be pleased with him. Abdullahi ibn Amr ibn As, his father was Amr ibn As. He accepted Islam before his father, and he was one of the companions that narrated hadith. And we both know, we have read in history how his father and Abdullah himself contributed greatly to the spread of Islam. We read that Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As, when he attained the old age, يُعَلِّمُ النَّاسَ ذَلِكَ مُعْطِيًا مِنْ نَفْسِهِ الْعِبْرَةِ, he would gather people and he would be admonishing them on how to maintain moderation, how to apply leniency in worship, because he went through that stage and the Prophet ﷺ cautioned him. It was said that during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Abdullah ibn Amr was so devoted to worship, to the extent that he would fast for a whole day. He would stand up in the middle of the night to observe tahajjud all through. Even if he would rest, he would only rest for a few minutes. He would read a Quran per night, to the extent that this worship would forbid him from what? From attending to his wife and the household. So فَلَمَّا طَالَ ذَلِكَ مِنْهُ, when he continued doing this, it has got to the extent that his father could not bear it. His father had to report him to the Prophet ﷺ, to the extent that the Prophet now made it forbidden. He forbade him from engaging in excessive worship. So the Prophet forbade him in a very long hadith, but because of our discussion here, I just want to bring an extract out of that hadith. There was a time Abdullah ibn Amr said that Laytani qabiltu rukhsata Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If I had known, I would have accepted the rukhsah given to me by the Holy Prophet of Allah. The Prophet was like, the rukhsah was like excuse, or was like making things easy for him. So they reported him to the Prophet, and the Prophet forbade him from engaging in excessive act of ibadah. Now, let us go into the hadith. This hadith was narrated by Abdullah ibn Amr himself. Abdullah ibn Amr, radiyallahu anhuma, narrated that the Holy Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, instructs him to complete Quran within a month. Iqra'i al-Qur'ana fi shahr, that is within a month. He said, I told the Prophet that inni ajidu quwwa, I have the power to read it in less than a month. Hatta qal. There are some, I said that this was long until the Prophet said, read it within 7 days. Wala tazid dhalik ala dhalik, and do not go beyond that. Some people raise some issues that, which means if you want to read Quran, if at all want to complete a whole Quran, we should not complete it in less than 7 days. While some people are of the opinion that this particular hadith was specific to Abdullahi ibn Amru because of his nature, his excessive way of doing ibadah. But then the opinion that some scholars hold on to is that if you are able to complete this in less than 7 days, no problem. But just ensure that you understand what you are reading, or ensure that you read it correctly. While some people are of the opinion that the hadith is specifically for Abdullahi ibn Amru because of his nature. But what I want to draw out from this is that this hadith is not talking about reading the Quran alone. The hadith cuts across all other acts of worship. The hadith is telling us that any act of worship that we want to engage in, we should apply leniency. We should not lay burden on ourselves. La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. What we cannot bear, Allah has not placed it on us, except if we place it on ourselves. If you know that you cannot maintain praying 6-8 rakah every day during your tahajjud, even if you be praying 2 rakah every day for your tahajjud and you are consistent, Allah love it. One of the hadiths of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the Prophet says that we should engage in acts that we can bear, a particular act of worship that we can maintain. We should what? We should stick to it. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ, because Allah la yamallu hatta tamallu. Allah will not get tired until you get tired. Which means if you place a burden that you cannot bear on yourself, if you get to a stage, you will not be able to what? To forge ahead. So Allah can never get tired. You will be the one to get tired. So anything we are doing, as far as act of ibadah is concerned, we need to what? Apply a rifku, leniency, moderation. We maintain moderation in the matter of what? Matter of worship. In another hadith, narrated by Ahmad, Abu Dawud and Nasai in their own collection, the hadith says, وَإِنَّ أَحَبَّ الْعَمَلِ إِلَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى أَدْوَامُهُ وَإِنْ قَلَّ. The most dearest act to Allah is the one that is consistent, even if it is small, even if the act is not so much, even if the act is small and it is consistent, that act is the most dearest to Allah. Which means any act of worship that would debar us from giving a portion of our time to our relatives, to our children, to our wives, as Muslims, we should not engage in it. So anything we want to do as far as ibadah is concerned, we need to maintain moderation. This is Ramadan. We have to maintain moderation in our act of ibadah. You are a civil servant. While at work, when you are meant to do your normal work, you are reading Quran. You are doing the right thing at the wrong time. You are a teacher. You are meant to teach your kids in the class, your student, and you are reading the Quran. You are doing the right thing at the wrong time. So we have to apply moderation in our act of what? Act of worship. To the Imam outside there, during your Taraweeh, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that when you are leading Salah, you are the one that is leading Salah, فَلْيُخَفِّفْ, do what? Be lenient with it. Let it be light. فَإِنَّ مِنِهُمُ السَّقِيمَ وَالضَّعِيفَ وَالْكَبِيرَ. Because among those who are behind you, we have the weak ones, we have those who are sick, we have the aged. وَإِذَا صَلَّى أَحَدُكُمْ لِنَفْسِهِ فَلْيُطَوِّلْ مَا شَاءَ. But when you are praying on your own, you can elongate it as long as you wish. So we also have to what? Maintain moderation. When we are leading people in Salah, most especially Tarawih and what? And Maghrib. I have been fasting now since morning, and it's time for Maghrib. The moment you do Ghayril Maghdubi Alayhim Waladdallin Amin, the next thing is you start reading Baqarah. That is not fair. That is not fair. Someone who has been fasting during the time of Maghrib, we need to maintain moderation. During Tarawih as well, we need to maintain moderation. On this note, the Prophet of Allah ﷺ also says in another hadith, this hadith is in Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet says that Inna Dina Yusuf, you see, this religion is easy. Walan yushadda din ahadun illa ghalaba, and no one will try to make this religion difficult except the religion overcomes that person. So which means we have to apply leniency in everything we do as far as our ibadah is concerned. Leniency when we are dealing with Allah. Leniency when we are dealing with Allah means during ibadah we need to apply what? Apply leniency, moderation. We have to be moderate in that regard. Now, let's now go to the benefits that we can derive from this discussion. First and foremost, we learn that tilawatul Quran qurbatu lillah thawabu azim. Reading the Quran makes us to gain proximity to Allah, and the reward is enormous. This is month of Ramadan. The reward of reading Quran in the month of Ramadan, we can't compare it when we are not in the month of Ramadan. So let us stick to it and let us read it fluently and perfectly. You don't have to be into competition with anybody. You are into competition with someone and you are reading nonsense. No, read it at your own pace and read it correctly and fluently. Allah knows how to settle you when it comes to reward. Number 2, al-qira'atul mashru'a hiya tartil wa tadabbur wal amal. Reading, the kind of reading that is acceptable in Sharia is you reading it one after the other, wa tadabbur, and thinking about it, contemplating on it, wal amal, and working with what you have contemplated on. So as Muslims, those who do not understand Arabic, there is nothing stopping you from getting translated Quran. What you have read, you don't have to be into race. This is not competition. Do it at your own pace. What you have read, look at the meaning and try to work by it. That is the best in the sight of Allah. I'm not saying those who are not doing this will not have their rewards, but please do not be into competition with anybody. Read it at your own pace. Do your ibadah at your own convenient time. Do it and do not be excessive in your ibadah. Number 3 is that yahsunu bil Muslim. It is good for a Muslim and yaqra'a qadran min al-Quran kulla yawmin walau kana qalilan. It is good for a Muslim to read a portion of the Holy Quran every day, even if it's small. Just ensure you read something from the Quran every day. Number 4, at-tashaddud fil ibadah. Excessive mode of worship Allah, excessiveness in worship. It is something that is not allowed in Islam. Islam condemns it. We have to stand bayna tafrit wal ifrat, between extremism and laxity. We need to maintain moderation, and that is what the Prophet of Allah drew the attention of Abdullahi ibn Amru to. We have to maintain moderation. And lastly is that al-amal al-qalil ad-dahim khayrun min al-kathir al-munqati. You see, a small act of worship that is continuous, it is better than large act of worship that is what? That is not consistent. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this is Ramadan. You are not into race with anybody. You are discussing, you are praying to your Lord, you are worshiping your Lord. Take your time. Don't engage in extremism while you are worshiping Allah. Take your time, maintain moderation, learn from Abdullahi bin Amru bin Al-Aas. I pray to Almighty Allah to grant me and you the understanding of this discussion. Brothers and sisters in Islam, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Al-Kanz Islamic YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel and drop your comment. I pray to Almighty Allah in His infinite mercy to count me and you among those that will reach the end of Ramadan. I also pray to Him not to make this Ramadan 1443 AH the last for each and every one of us. From me to you I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون